Be honest. Have you ever landed a new client, got super excited, but then immediately thought, wait, what do I actually send them or do now? Yeah, that awkward pause between they paid you and you actually deliver. That's a place that a lot of businesses lose clients here. But here's the truth. Successful onboarding is all about setting and meeting expectations. When your customer always knows what's next, there are fewer misunderstandings, fewer client ghostings, fewer clients leaving, and you just have more satisfied customers, which means more money for you. And as a business owner, no matter the size, isn't that the goal? My name is David Michelson. At the time of this video, I've helped my first clients make a little over $9,000. It's my mission to make entrepreneurship available to everyone. It's a lofty goal, I know, but with enough years, we can do it. And by the way, if you want to support me in putting out more free entrepreneurship content, make sure to hit the subscribe button. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. It helps more business owners just like you get started or just do better. Before we go any further, what does onboarding even mean? Well, onboarding is simply the process that you take each client or customer through after they've said yes and they pay you. It is what happens between that moment and you start the delivery or you give them what they paid for. It's kind of like inviting someone over for dinner. You don't just take that code and then disappear into the kitchen for 3 hours. You greet them, maybe offer them a drink, and then let them know what's happening for the rest of the evening. So in short, onboarding really is just setting expectations, guiding the next steps, and providing a smooth experience. Unfortunately, a lot of small business owners mess up this process, especially because of these 3 reasons. They overcomplicate things, maybe trying to copy what big businesses do. They don't set clear expectations, so the client or the customer is left wondering, what happens now? Am I supposed to do anything? Or lastly, they simply might just ghost the client or the customer. Maybe they go radio silent and don't do anything or show up or text or say anything before the actual delivery. And so the shortest way to lose a customer is to confuse them, leave them waiting, or make them do guesswork. Don't be that business. Now, to help you avoid those 3 mistakes, here is a 4-step onboarding system that you can use so you don't fall into making any of those mistakes, so you can keep your customers, serve them well, and make more money. Ask yourself, what's the bare minimum that a new customer or client needs to feel clear and confident? It might be an email, it might be a call, it might be a contract, it might be a kickoff meeting. It's kind of like giving someone the Wi-Fi password as soon as they arrive at your house. Without it, they'll have to use their cellular, but with it, they'll fit right in. So, step 2 is the execution part. The things you just planned, send your welcome package immediately after payment. This could be a simple email that says, here's the first step we need from you. Here's when we will reach out to you. This is when we want you to do so and so. Join this group. So execution really just means clear welcome, clear timeline, and clear first step. And so to give you a personal example, what I use for my one-on-one clients, whenever someone starts working with me and I help them go from $0 to $1,000 in 90 days, to make sure that we get off to a good start, I write them an introduction email. I tell them what is going to happen, at what point is it going to happen. When they enter the private group, I tell them what are the next steps, what do I expect of them. On the first day, I let them know, okay, these are the things that are going on. What do I expect of you? Here's what we'll do. And so each step of the way, they know when I will reach out to them, what they need to deliver back to me, in what way I want to see it. As many things you can make explicit as possible will serve you in creating a smoother experience. And so when you've started your execution, you go to step 3, which is experience. And why experience? Well, when you add a little bit of a personal touch, then you'll just be able to provide so much of a better experience for that customer, which just means they have a much higher likelihood of following through with whatever they need to do, have a great start to whatever you're starting, or even just staying for longer with your service. And so this is where you could add a little bit of magic. Maybe you send a personalized video saying, hey, lovely to be working with you. Here's what we'll do. Maybe it's a checklist that they can use to prepare. Maybe it's another thing, but adding a little personal touch is going to make them feel a lot more welcome. At step 4, you get to the part that separates the good businesses, small or big, from the great ones, because now you get to improve. And so improving really just means paying attention to the small details. After you've served a couple of clients, now you can start to notice, was there any particular questions that most of them asked? Was there one particular step that they had trouble completing? Was there one thing that worked really well? Was there something else that no longer seems necessary? You can use this part of the process to gather feedback. How did it go? And prepare for next time around, which means if there are questions that are frequently asked, then maybe you can prepare a video for the next time you onboard someone new and send them that video as part of your introductory email, or just as a separate video, or make it part of day one, or add it in somewhere else in the process. But at least now you know that these questions should be answered before we get started. Now, of course, you also have to remember that improvement doesn't mean you need to overhaul everything. It just means building on top of and continuing to review what you have, so that what you choose to do or deliver is always with the intention of serving the customer or the client in the best way possible. And the best news for all of this, you don't need complicated systems or all sorts of different software. You can use Google Docs, you can use something like Calendly for scheduling, you can use something like Trello for keeping track of your clients. It's like cooking a great meal with just salt, pepper, and olive oil. You don't need all sorts of advanced things. What really matters is how simple and how clear it is to the customer or the client. So if you try and bring it all together, step one is plan. You need to decide what clients need to know and do right away. Step two is execute. Deliver a welcome email and a clear timeline, setting expectations for who, when, where, what, how. Step three is experience. How can you add a small but personable touch to what you're offering so that they feel welcomed, and so that you can fortify that they made the right decision investing with you? And fourthly, how can you evaluate and gather feedback on the whole process so you can do even better with every next client? The goal of onboarding is actually really simple. You just never have to let your customer wonder what's next. And if you do this, you'll reduce misunderstandings, you'll increase satisfaction, you'll get better reviews, more referrals, and yes, make more money. Now, here's your challenge. Write down 3 steps, the most important things someone has to do to be ready for day one, that they will receive right after they've paid you. That's your starting onboarding process. Now, if you like this whole concept of making the onboarding process, of delivering a great customer experience, and you want help in getting started and dealing with all of this, it's actually what I do. I help aspiring and new entrepreneurs one-on-one make at least $1,000 in 90 days, even if they have no experience. Yes, that is true. And so if you're interested in checking that out, you can find a link to the waitlist in the description. But if you prefer just to get some free stuff, there's also a complete free course, which essentially takes you through the whole same process. You just get to do it on your own, and you're not guaranteed any results. But you can check that out in the description as well. As always, of course, I will see you next week, and stay disciplined.